Malunga e lau maria ho e ki pea mo e lele e tonga mo i wulangato mo me mai ki polo kalama whakalete o ko ia TWN peko tonga World News o ko broadcast whakahanga tona pea mi Seattle, Washington i he fia fini. E fia moni te whokeni ko e kamataanga ni o wike pea ko e wike fo owe ni ka te tau toko toa pe tau to e whesio whake mo i lelei pia mo e whiawhia whoki. Ki mui pa tō kamata e tau polo karama o ko au Brenda ko ngai ka pape whoki a Emeline wha umuni te o ko maa whakahoko polo karama atu i he whiawhini pia toki hu mai rewa e mau kau kes after me he taimi koe lotu pia tau toki hoko atu. Malo au pito. Tau lotu. Ik lele ko e mau tamai whakahewani a whiona o ke a whiohifo. Me he wani o ke iai ki he mahamani ko ni pia mo whanau o mau toro mau tata lele ai whinangalo lele o a whiona ke ni toku mai hanga i tapua ke te mau toro i he ngahi aho e mau mo wini. Mo whamalo ke te koe ngahi tapua ko tabe ke o mai. Pea whamalo ki hei wilahi pea mo koto mo ilo o ke tapu ki na aki au pea mo Emeline pa pehefo me kau ngawe a TWN me Amerika lai pea pehefo ki tonga pea mo e o pe foki. Whamalo ka te koe ngahi tapu aki ko ia o ko tapu ki ake tonga katoa pe o ko whanau mai i he whiawhini. O whape unauma o hamo i lelei pia pehe whoki mua poto mua ilo pia pehe whoki peha mua lota maa ke lava ke mau whetapa ki i he ope i he poro kalama koe ni i he lota hanga maari mu oni. Ma whamalo ka te koe ko ono i ngā whakatamatu i ko South TWN pehe whoki tahini koe ni ko nanasi tuku aho, nanasi pau tuku aho. Whamalo ki he ngahi tāpua ki o kutuku ke te kinawa koe whae pia mwe tamai ia ai toko taha i whanua kotoa pe i ho mau ki whanua me tonga eiki. Pia pehe pia mwe o tuha pai koe wapa lahi pia mwe wani mua pia pehe whoki ewa whoki. Tamai wan tāpua ki anga mau tu i kini mau mo ui lelei pia pehe whoki pia mua whiawhia. Te whakatoronga e nā ke nā lako whia pe i whunga mamani ka mi a ngai tau lahi ka hoko mai. Tāpua ke anga mau whanua pe tāpua ke anga ka kai kotoa pe unau i he whitu kotoa pe mamani. Koe whanua koe ni koe whanua munu i e mau hanga ke a whio i mea si mea lahi pe pe whoki pe mo uini. Tāpua ke anga au mo Emeline pe whini pe mo tōna timi mau ngau he pe whini. O whake lawa ke mau hangau. Whakahoko apolo kalama e whiawhia ai ni i ko tawe whanongo mai ki ai. E toi toko ni whoki o mau whepeki ni ma i he ngahi mea ko tawe ma tō no ai ka lawa i nā tolo toko ni ai polo kalamani. Hano whakaiwia ngahi lau maari e totono. Ma kore ngai mea ni wa wha alo ko sis Christ pe tau ma wha moi amen.
Amen.
Oni.
Amen.
Malo, lele ya tonga katope, malo la malia ho eki, ko Emeline Fao manite, ka tahay ho mo ko ho sa tisiara FFini, ko fa malot Brenda, la lele ko ula ke tau polo kalama, ko FFini fa, ko FF monite, ne aho, December aho no, December aho no, go history and culture, graphic with a special report later on, ka ke tau foki mai ki history and culture, moi mawinga ho tau tuk whaolo, pia mo tau culture, and you know that Unibif, ko kongaya e tau mission ke tau hanga preserve history and culture, pia ki mo ke tau ka tu pe tau malot pe ke tau ka pena mo lot mai ki ho tau kete ko tuk fok mai nau ata mai he aon me farmaki pa ka malot pe ke tau ka pena lotu. Ko tua oku taingata pe maanioni pe ni whanangoa e tau lotu katoa pe. I'm just going to circle it back to you, Brenda, because he oku ta program have a history and culture ka tokuma e takau guest later, but we're going to talk something about culture tonight, eh?
Yeah.
Ko fi ma ke preserve our culture, eh?
Io, mona pito. Koe mea lahi pe taha foki, koe neongo ko osi tahanga set aside e aho kotoa pe pia moe nau tau streamline pia moe ngai foi segment ke lere fiaf kotoa pe hange koe aho ni koe history and culture.
History and culture, right.
Io. Ka koe taimuko oku kahu mai aha mea mahu inga ki he poro karama. Ulawa rewa ke tā wahe ke lava ke tau hanga insert ha mea o mahu inga au pito, he? Pe e ki amui angi ia. Ka koe whia whini koe anga Emeline tau sio kon ki ho tau wanga whakawhanua whakatonga, he? Ko nofo pepe au whakaukau ko tau wanga whakatonga, koe koloa ia na tau puke mai, e? Ko pepe koe koloa, to me it is such a very important gem ka deo ai ang whatonga. Pea o koutu ia wia oku ikai ke ia ha reason ia ke ki tau tolu ka kaitonga ku tau matu o tu aangi i he mo uini. Ke tau ignore the fact o don't get tau bring up a me ko tau be safe ka argument tau culture. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Pea o kutonu ke tau talanoa ake, it's all about the conversation we have. Eh?
Oh,
Ka iai peha tau patunga kakai o tau talanoa ai e culture. O tonu peke emphasize pe te tahanga o whakamamawhai. How beautiful it is to carry our Tongan culture as part of you and who you are. Eh? Pea speak loud dia I whaitu ko tō pe te ke iai. Because you're different, you know. Ka get different bad. Ka o koe mea o koe proud to be Tongan. So I'm going to give it, take a circle mai ka te you know, the play behe ki foi ping pong subject koe ni. E kono o hinga o very important au pito pe ia tau tolu tau ik whawhine.
Brenda, o mawinga pe ia o tau was iloi pe tau to ho tau culture ani maho inga. But my concern now ia ki ngai mea kono hu mai koe ki tonga koe o ne hang koe o holoki koe ai culture. He guai concern at tamatui I hene to fola koe he whono. Nane pe he o koe ki whima ia ke o mai hangai me me muri ke ne hanga ia wesi at tau culture. But I think that's the thing that we should be really, every Tongan should be concerned about. Hold on. You know what I'm saying? We grew up with the culture. That's our identity. but ko tawa mai ta tole ka ko ngaya ko mole lahi culture yeah, because a lot of people ko tui ko hinga ko mole culture yeah. I think ko hinga ko atamai ko ni ope ka kaya ko tape ko kumi tawatai na Ka te awe ana tau atai na peta tone tale tau tupu hake me tonga he tau konis tu tone na eswaki peta atai na ia. Ko tau atai na kona whaki ko sas tu po uloaki. Ko tau atai na kona whaki o tua ka tau tolu he tau maa koe mana ve mukui. Ko tau atai na tau pina de whaka tau tolu. Ka ko alhake whata tole ha kuonga ia whate mukalatia na pena tole o kutoi mahulong he tau atai na ton ke whaka tau tolu. But for me, I think o hange pe ko na ula me pe ki mo ta ki programa ta pe mo master helo na fa ko ho to na fa la pe ka Dr Ray ko han ko to ko fa tu ta to ko I he to ko SNC ha na fa ko fa tu pu na fa tu pu ta to ria o a creation ni na fa ko fa tu pu na how how me ko to pe tu ko tanga ta be fine in a perfect world but guess what ko time ko na time ko na alo ko against ke tutun ka otua ke on a go outside the boundaries ko na ang ko otua kanawa but na fuck otua everything to them in a perfect way how I me ko to nakaka na ila na wa na telefua nakaka na ila na wa oku there is something different about them other than they see perfection pero time ko na humay ko ngata Hakangata o ate foi feu I kanawa on ha na doubt for perfection ko na ang ko o to kanawa o pe he ngata ki fefine ko moni o ka ke mo fo ke mo kai I fu akau ko ni and that was a question here kamata le ke race le vai in eyebrows to me aya ke te au ko fa tata hu ko te mo kalati kitonga you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to picture this. The community kana go outside ka boundaries ko na ang ko otwa kanawa. Minute na na vai ko on a sio ke ngai me ay na ka kiton ke na sio na. Holo kile vai I vai holo kile vai oi tau pe da toria I fa tupu how ko ai otwa. If you take that scenario, because for picture ko ya o maya ge me ko no tau ya tani ko culture ko tonga hu me ka demokratia ki tonga ko tonga na tau pe na to na ma lu tan do fo how ka demokratia ha na do for message hey you know o mo no pe you know you can speak up to the king you can do all of this and that it's almost the same way hu me ka ngata ko ka ev how ka ngata ka ev nga a question I found out tua, Ka hu mai ka demokrati, o hange to peka hu mai ka ngata ko ka iwi. Hu mai ko ki tonga, question I tunga fatui, faunga fatui, faunga ko ni ma luta, faunga ko no. You know what I'm saying? If you can really look at that picture and put them side by side, ko taimi ko na hangalema demokrati ko o mai mata tonga ke hu outside the boundaries ko or culture. More respect, more offer, more favor to kayaki, more elevate our culture to that. That's exactly, to me, that's exactly what happened. Kafay me ko gusto ko kiyay, Hala, kafay ko gusto ko kiyay, and that's what I was trying to to bring in, Brenda, you know, so get out. Kuta hule wa to tonga me boundaries going o fevete ko aquí o fa apa o fa ko ni akainga mo ngai fo I 4 pillars going go aquí ya ko etau culture ko tai me ko movete ai ko ang ko sio ko ke culture he ko inga get out ya o ikai ko get out ya o hange pe ko hu ga ang hala ko ki fa tupu na sa may he lucky fire ay luta mo me ko tope ka boundaries pag daw huga kito ako may boundaries, but I tell you que ko fili ko ni na to osi ko ka to ka ko ni na go against the culture, go against the pe ai fa unga go tonga ko fe na to they're not even near where the falelea now ko nga ko to sio ka yo ilai mo ni ko to nga ya ke luta pe to nga ko to nga ko we not need to be a democratic country. Because Hanata was democratic pe tao to le mo tao ta nas fa ki pe like fa ya ai tao dai na ka to ko nga ku ki fa ka ke fa la ve ka culture pe mo tao and I'm bringing that picture go fa tupu mo ya hu angata o ve ki go fa tupu. It's almost the same thing the way I look at it. Give our culture good me, but I'll give it back to you, Brenda, because I'm just gonna. Hopefully, I'm close to where I'm trying to explain. So.
No, I got you. It's very clear.
Yes.
It's very clear. O hang out. O mai ai whakatupu pia mo anga koe ni disruption.
Right.
Ai hu mai koe e te mkarate ki he tau tu unga whaka, mo ui tau whonua. Ka koe mea koe ni oku, this is a new era altogether,
Exactly.
Pe oku, koe mea penia na e asi pea i he tohi tapu ai koe a u koe ni ki he taimi e hoko mai ai aho whakamui.
Okay. Right, whakamui.
This here, ko ngai mea kono tau sio ke he taimi ni, tau sio ke he ngahi mea o natu la.
Oh, yeah.
Everything is into oku vei ua te sio ke anga ki he ea e ni hanga holoki ngahi mo unga koe kere, koe tahi o race, koe ke te ilo i pe koe hea mea i hoko, ka koe mea koe o tau ilo i. Koe kakai koe ni o nau o mai koe ni ke pehe ke whakahala i ai whao e ki mamani koe ni pe whakahala i ai ngahi tu uni mamafa e koni stu tone ki he whonua takta. Not only us o tau go through a disruption koe ni. Ka koe mea o ko koe unfortunate mea o ko hoko ki tonga o tonu ke nau whakaukau lahi ki ai. Koe ki whonua nia o ku si i a ngea i ha toi mea.
Oh, yeah.
Koe hae uhinga ke toi nau toi o mai au whakakikihi. Koe whakakiki ke toi ai e tonga fo o pia koe hae toi o mai ha atu i ke he ia. He ko he kai ke nau lava i nga to whakalere the real Democratic Party. They
I
won't.
don't think so.
They won't. I kai koe process ia nia o demokrate in reality. Ke ulak tu te whonua pia, it's like revolutionize in our tolu. Ai whonua kanau riu kawa,
That is so true. Just look like that's the agenda,
Excuse me.
Yeah. Moni lai au pito ia Brenda o kage ko tau moa nei tau peta to nei halai ai tau moa he ka tui ka pana ko tau moa to tonu ki demokrati te nau whinga o aki pe me whare tui he ke te nau ko against it to come up with a better solution, and with the people, gonna brainwash the people. But now the people now think independently. I pick up common sense. A lot of people lose common sense. Common sense is just like you can tell, you can see and know the right and wrong.
Oh yeah.
Ako ke tonya kita hanga kita o fa ete decision me hata ke hanga fa atamai kita ko tambo hawa ta atamai kita ko kale ke te toi whae kita te whi whakaukau whapoto, ko te lele kita he whi whakaukau o hala,
Koia. Koe na whanongo I he initiate he e whiwhine na kau he lele. How strong it was for her. Mahana mentioned that she was very strong about pushing her agenda forward. Whikau aki. Pea moe malo hinga ka kai whiwhine. Pea moe ni whakaukau ki he. So she was pushing ta patoa. You know, kako ene background ko ni whima ke stand forth. I he ne lere. Ko malohinga ka kai whiwhine in what they preach. Ke taimi ko campaign ai pe ni ngahi agenda ke whakahoko moha. Ka koe taimi ko he off ke taimi ko e whaiwhiri. O ku change le vai, you know, she hangere mai ko o tano ai hangia ko whiwhi ai helere ka mea tangata while she's standing behind everybody and support whoever, you know, ku tano a kehere vai, you know. Ka ko pen leva e au, ia, ko talanoa ko ni ke whaunga ko ni mama ni pea o mai mo e tau urake o mātua. Oku tatau au pito pea mo e whinga ko ni ke launch a new world for Tonga. Pea ospea li riu mo hea. But then ko whinangaro e ki he kai ke mess up ia mami, you know. Kono whinangaro ko Tonga na o hake ia ki langi, you know. Ko hai ki tau tolu ki tau hanga veuki. Ai ngai mea ko
palani hau ai o tua.
Palani hau ai o tua. Pea koutou iau ia ko ngai mea ia ko tau. O ko tau tolu ke tau siore wa ka mea o mau inga ia kia tau ngahi oa. Pea o roto ke te support for the best of the home, for the family, for the best of you and his relationship. You support it 100%.
Yes.
Pea ka pau o aroatu kita I he anga whakaotua, kai haue he anga whakasetani, koe fu clash lai whakauri.
Exactly.
Iyo. Ka koe common sense, yes, it plays a very big role in our life. And
Ka nega ko sia ka kia I Brenda ko ai haka ni. Ka whaunga ko Tonga na o hake whakatonga ia I tuku ki langi, Ka ku sia ko ke whaunga ko Tonga ia. O ku kai ke totonu ke ko te ka re mau pe he Tonga ia whai mahina ko ia. Ko te au ia he kai ke te aha na fu support fe ana tolu ia ki he ngahi mea koe no ku koe meitua. Sia ke wholofola mai pe tu ia. I he whono. Pea mone wholofola koe ni he wharerea. Ke whaalele koe ni ke whae whiri whapoto. The people listen to him, Ke usia ke ola koe ni mea koe ni o whanongo peka ka ia ke he wholofola e tui, Brenda, you can unmute when you're ready to talk,
yeah.
Ko usia ko akuia na hanga pet. Oku ko hanga ke usia ko ki he whiri koe ni ia. Na whai peka ka ia e loto tui,
Iyo, kono moania, yes, absolutely. Yes.
Ka koe mea ko. He koe konga, ko hea koe ulave koe ki ta waka Brenda. Koe konga tau whenga ke tau preserve koe ho tau culture. He ka painga ke tau tau tolia ke tau against hu mai koe wha demokrati koe ne umea koe ni. Tena haya we see ho tau culture, you know, and we need to be strong about that, you know. O hangai ka tau whalwhaka tu I ke o mai ngai ulnganga me mūria ke nau hanga nau tauria o mea. O we see e tau nofo ma luta atonga, Ka koe kaya nga pe gusto ako kita may hen kitong ako kimbe ako ni ko without culture. I think this is one of the reasons why we need to preserve. Heko, I don't know if how to preserve, but I think this is the #1 way to preserve the culture is to be very careful with what we need to bring into the kitonga.
Iyo. Na taha be foke en ito fora he same note be koina kuke alert mai ki tau kakai mo tau toko toa. Ko ne pehe ko oku tonu ke tau appreciate o tau nofo he whanua man.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Mm.
Pea koe malu e whanua oku hau kotoa ki ai e ngahi. Mea oku whea ko taki mo uifa karistiani.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Pea oku wau penia tonga ia ki ha tuunga oku hanga he paangao o veteki anga whakaukauha ni i.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Oku hanga he paangao o fray off e nau whakaukau pea mo e nau sensible set of minds. Eh?
Oh yeah.
Pea hanga he koloa mo e ofa he. Ngahi mea ko hau he toi tapu o tau lava sio kei o kai ki tau loto ki tau judge. No. Ka tau lava sio kei pe tau whakamo ni. Eh? How quickly our minds can just be influenced by koloa, koe koula, koe everything. Eh? Me a mama.
Oh yeah.
Kai rewa ke tau sio o adapt ke tau mo'ui. Hi, Dr. Ray. How you doing?
Ke mo ke ho mai tau ko wa pe pe te ta tau ko hiva ke tau break ke pa tau te
Oh,
ko
yeah.
le ko nga wa.
Sure.
Malo.
Yeah.
Elamai lamai trele, puyai lamai trele, lamai lamai trele, puyai lamai trele, lamai lamai trele, puyai lamai trele, ando suanau fa'alomo I le pone I le pulere puyai lamai trele.
Okay, we're back.
Tika atu e tau jingle, eh?
Oh yeah. Okay. Hello, back, Dr. Ray. So, yeah, now we can go back to the second segment of our program, Dr. Ray. So we're gonna let you bring it on with your guests. We're not hearing you, Dr. Ray. And welcome back always to the show because I'm from Tonga.
Have you talked about the sexual abuse? Or not yet?
Yeah, is he here?
No, but he's in his way for the Bible
Okay,
study.
sure. You can start off, Dr. Ray.
Okay. I want to start with one verse in the Bible because our culture is Christian. That's our culture, the main culture, as we believe. Jesus said, whatever you did with the other, if you want the other do good for you, do good for the other. And I think the problem starts from the discipline, the kids. I know what happened in America or in Tonga, or it's everywhere in the world. I will start from the very background. When the kids want to have money, easy money, okay? How they do? You know, nowadays we have Facebook. And I want to start from this one. We have Facebook. You have to watch your kids, because what happened, they put different, like different birthday, so they allowed to be, they have Facebook account. And then in Facebook account, that's how we start. When the man or boys ask the girls in the school underage to show them like a born photo, and they give them money. This is the start of you losing your kids. When your kids in the street, and I remember Kuliti what he said, you have to show how bad you are to be how cool, to show that you are cool enough. But this is a disease. This is a disease. When we talk about this type, people even here in Tonga, and it's so sad when they know these girls, this student underage, they ask them for nude photo or born photo or naked photo and give them $50. That's not the type we want. I remember Kuliti said one day, I have one egg and one noodle, and I have to feed my family. And since this day, that was the reason for him to go and look for easy money. Yeah, but now I want to talk about how you make an easy money with the mindset. Okay, I'm think we focus what Kuliti said and how we do the mindset. That's how to prevent. For example, I believe, and all the Christian believe, everyone born and God gave him gift. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
if everyone just sit with himself and ask, what is my gift? You know what does the gift mean? The gift mean what I can do faster, what I can do easy without put pressure on me, without put more work on me, because it's a gift. It's come like by itself. So if you are gifted in painting, if you are gifting in cooking, if you are gifting in writing, if you, a lot of things, we are talent, but no one have time to sit with himself, to ask himself what I'm talent for. You know, maybe one, maybe two, but you have to be sit and honest with yourself, sit mindset. For example, if my talent, I want to ask this question to you, to me, to Emeline, to Brenda, to all our listeners. If my gift from God, if I use it, it's easy to give me $10. Like if I know how to make cookies, that's easy for me to get $10 from the cookies I will make. If I know how to collect, if I go and collect 3 coconuts, that's $10. If I collect 3 coconuts and I sell it in the market, that's $10. So I have to ask myself, what God gave to me, okay? And what God gave the nature gift, because we have gift for us and we have the island gift, you know? So if I'm good in fishing, or I love fishing, but I don't know how, I will learn. The end of the day,
Yes.
when I'm gifted, I use my God gift. If I use it once, that's $10. But how about if I use it 10 times? You know how much? That's $100 a day for God gift, which is not make me put pressure on me to work hard. because the gift is just a gift. It comes by itself and easy. So I want you to use God's gift in your life. That's a mindset. Think about what God gave me gift in my life, and what this gift I can use it. Because God will never give us gift for nothing. When God gift you, He give you a gift, He will ask, did you use your gift or not? And why you didn't use it? So rather to sit with one egg and one noodle, how to feed your family, and now I will make an easy money. No, make easy money with God gift.
Yes, I agree with that.
If you collect a coconut, collect 30 coconut. That will be $100 a day. You know, if he repeat this for 10 days, within 10 days, he will have 1,000.
That's it.
But you know, we have 365 days a year. Cut Sundays. Okay, so 350 or 340. If you just use your gift 10 times a day to make you $10 each, so 100, you know what does it mean? The end of the year, you will have a big money. But in a top of that, when you use your gift and when it's come more, if you can make it 10, make it 20 a day, make it 30 a day, make it 40. And now you found yourself, you will hire people to do what God gifted you. That's how the people start business. That's how the people start their life. Rather to sit and talk and talk and talk and blame the government and blame the husband, blame the wife. The husband is not making enough money. The wife just sit at home, do nothing. You know, everyone blame each other, but no one sit and think what God gave me.
Yes.
This is the mindset. This is how to fight to prevent drugs. Mindset. I want to ask everyone today to sit with himself and ask, what is God gave me a gift? God gave here Tonga coconut. God gave all fish around. A lot of things. We have like a lot of leaves. Rather to feed the buaka, do something useful for. Rather to burn for the umu, make something useful for the wood.
Yeah.
You know, even the buaka, sorry, not the buaka, the coconut leaves. There is a lot of companies, they just buy the leaves, not the brown leaf inside the shell,
Yeah.
because they use it for another alternative, another product.
Yeah.
So rather to waste your money and thinking I will go and sell drugs is easy money. What about God gave you? You know, that's why in the Bible said you don't have anything to obligate with God, because God gave you everything. When God gave you a gift, why you don't use your gift? Because it's free. Rather to think how to make an easy money, because that, you get what I mean?
Yes, I get that, Dr. Ray. And you know,
You
Dr.
like
Ray, there was a book. I think the book that I was trying to read this week is the Thou Shalt Prosper, I believe. But you know, it talk about, like, think about Adam when God created him. When it comes to let's say going into the garden, and you know, and the process. I'm talking about the process. Our generation is almost given everything. Like, for example, I wake up in the morning, I just walk into my kitchen and get me a bowl of cereal. But back in the days, to prepare the breakfast, it's gonna be, I remember my mother, if we have the hakaufi, you know, the dad had to go to plantation to get the hakaufi, and then my mom would prepare it in the morning. I mean, think of that process, okay? So now, instead of mankind or now generation going into the plantation, grow the ufi, bring it home, go through peeling the ufi and put it in the pot, and then after a few hours, then you have your meal given to you. To a generation, you just walk into the store and buy things and given to you. I think most of the problem we have right now, because we were given many things, especially our kids, we start spoiling them. Instead of giving them to go help in the cooking or go do something, we giving them everything, almost everything. And in America, they have something called 24, let's say like instant noodle. Even the microwave for 2 seconds, it's still 2 minutes, it's still like too long for them to wait, I think that mindset of giving everything every time, I think that's what really spoiled our kids, and really like, instead of going to the plantation 5 hours to collect the coconut and then milk it later after how many hours, now they just go to the Chinese and buy the coconut milk, So, and I think what Dr. Ray was saying, it's the skills, Brenda, and we have to also, train our kids to.
Yeah, that's true.
Instead of just giving them, give to them all the time.
To earn it, they have to train to
that's
earn it.
exactly what. That is so true. That's what it is right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's exactly what Dr. Ray was talking about.
Yeah.
We have to start training them. We have to start letting them use their gift, that God is giving to them, instead of spoiling them. One thing I heard that Steve Jobs, and also with even Bill Gates, I heard that kids don't have computer. Yeah. Because they don't give them iPad or computer. Because the reason why, they don't want these kids, they don't want to take away their creativity mind. Because when they attach to the computer or the iPad, these kids won't go do anything, even the iPhone, So I think when we're giving our kids the iPhone, we like stopping them from having a creative mind, But I think that's exactly what Dr. Ray was talking about. I'll let you have a feedback on that.
It's true. What he's talking about is true. When kids grow up nowadays and they think of, but Tongan kids, they not just get up and want to do bad. You want to do something bad. It started with small things, Lene. They go to school. Yes. When it's PE time, they look at everybody, have shorts, have shoes. They come with their expensive shoes. And I know one of my grandsons is like that, right? They, because it's given to him. It's given to them. And then they want everything to be, either they are the one that would, that would wear it, or they would be the one that would influence the other kids by saying something negative. This what force our kids to turn in the wrong way, because when they come home and talk to the parents about, oh, this kid told me my shoes should be thrown out or something like that, they don't feel like going to school the next day, because somebody, make fun of his shoes, And so these are the little things that can influence our kids away. If they are given such things without working for them, they thought that we just handed them on a silver platter or something, right. And they don't have to do it. But then they start stealing, if it's, if it's something that's in their mind. I remember our kids, there was a lecture that was done at the cafeteria in one of the high schools where my kids attended. And the person that was, that was giving the talk, they said they were talking about bullying, and then everything else came with the talk, and the guy said, you know, why do you bully other kids just because they don't have what you have, you know, or why call them names, you know, if their clothes are not Nikes, or, you know, their clothes are not Adidas, you know, the brand name, you know. And so it was a conversation. And then, you know, the kids don't know how to say, or because everybody had that kind of attitude, you know. They would walk up front and then they look back to one of their friends or somebody they know. They stare and, you know, just to look for 5 minutes without shifting, you know, that's you know. So
Look, I tell you, Brenda, I don't mind this when the kids, because we was kids too as well. We were kids and we know the word, it's hurting us. But there is something different. There is some kids, the parents feel from when they're young, they have the criminal mind, believe it or not.
yeah,
Hey, yo,
the parent.
when they start, the parents feel. But what happened? When the father tried to discipline the kids and the mother, she just in his bag do another thing. Or the mother want to discipline the kids and the father do another thing.
Right.
That's will bring up kids with criminal mind.
Oh.
Okay. When you see when you see your kids repeating same mistake and every time from worse to worse, you know, when you have a small tree, you can put a stick and the tree will come straight. But if you don't put the stick, the tree will be everywhere, not be straight. Yeah. For me, this type of kids, they need a stick from the beginning to make them straightforward. But if you leave the criminal mind, when you just see your kids, if your kids come home with something they never have, and you left it, you never ask,
right,
or you never give them a right punishment, or maybe you give them punishment for half an hour or one day, and the following day like nothing happened. No, 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 no. No, that's not right to discipline the kids. The end of the day, one day will come and you will wish you never have this kid. But it's the parents' fault. When your kids come home with something not belong to him, or he just have money, or he ran from the school and you never know where he ran to, or when you ask the kids and they create stories and you know they lie, but you know you won't believe them, so you just save your headache. It's not about this. You have to investigate everything with the kids, boy and girls. Otherwise, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, this is like, you know, I remember one day when Topo was still alive, you said you went to the park with the big golf stick with all the police there. You remember, Brenda?
Yes.
You have to do that with little kids. If you
Yes,
are
with the
weak,
stick. Yes.
you know, if you don't do that, you will lose your kids. Then you will blame yourself, not blame the kids. I remember, you know, when my auntie get kidney failure back in 1982, so expensive to do the dialysis for her. We do it private. She was doing 3 times a week, and every time was 600 pounds.
Whoa.
Yeah. So that's 1,800 pounds. Back to this time, if you calculate the pounds to dollars, to US dollar, you talk about it maybe 4,000 a week, US dollar. And I have the Christmas, my dad, he didn't buy me any new clothes. So I went to the church, the Christmas Eve. All the
Right.
kids around, like next to me, they have the new clothes, you know. And I went to the church, feel shy. I went there just for 2 minutes. Then I've been all the prayer outside the church. Never happened. Never happened to me. My dad noticed that when we go home, we have food, the Christmas Eve. Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad, he told me, you will eat the leftover
Uh-huh.
because you don't pray. Then I get angry the following day because my daddy don't have enough money to give me like some money to go to spend outside. So I did it. Even no one buy Christmas gift for me. I was 8 years old in this time. And I remember this day when I was crying and angry, my dad decided to take me to the hospital to see my auntie. And he paid the doctor all the money. And he told me, you know, for me, my sister life, it's important than your clothes. Your clothes is still I pay. Did you love your
Yeah.
auntie? And I said, yes. And he said, I want to ask you, what about if I'm there and I need money for to save my life? You will go and buy clothes for yourself or you will give the money towards my medicine? And I said, oh, I will give you whatever I have, even if I sold my clothes. And my dad said, I'm not asking you to sell your clothes, to sell it out. We still have money, but I'm
Right.
asking you for love. Love your auntie as you love your dad. Because if I'm sick, what will happen? You know, this day I come back, I was showing everyone that I didn't pay, that I didn't get the Christmas clothes because I love my auntie. But that's what my dad did. I never forget this time for me. When I'm 8 years old, I went to the hospital to see my auntie, all the machines in and out from here.
Uh-huh.
But that's what I learned. I can be in one clothes, one shirt, but I save my auntie life, my brother, my father.
Yeah.
It's more important than word. That's how my dad
Oh,
teach me. It's not like that's it and let me. But you remember, everyone have time to reach the kids.
right.
But again, when your kids come home with something is not belong to them, you have to ask.
Ask. Yeah. It's true.
Mm.
Wow.
So
So
it's
true,
again
Dr.
about
Ray.
discipline. What Brenda? Emeline, sorry.
No, I said that is so true because it's so important for the parent to do it at the right
The-
timing. The
Yeah.
right time is very important, you know. Don't overlook those things, you know.
Yeah.
Mm. So again about the gift,
Right.
and you know what happened to me on the holiday in the summer, because we have around like 3 months or 4 months holiday
Right.
between grade and grade between each year. So my dad took me to my uncle so I can work.
Right.
So my uncle have the electrician. He's the electrician for cars, and
Right.
he started to bring the battery, and he teach me how to clean the battery, like to renovate, and we sell again the battery. So I learned how to earn money is very hard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I remember first time I earned was £2 a week. That is a big money in this day. But what I did, I didn't buy anything for me. I went and I buy food and fruit and whatever to home. And then when
Wow.
I bring it home, my dad, he's look at me and said, wow. And I said, yes. You remember what you told me about my auntie? So now I bring the food. I don't buy anything for myself because I love you all. He never asked me to do that. He never asked me to, but I tell you what I did. Till he passed away, he still remember what I did with the first money I earned in my life. I just bring food to my, and we have food. But I said, that's it. I want to apologize to my dad because at the end of the day, I learned to earn money is so hard.
Uh-huh.
You know?
It reminds me, Dr. Ray, when I first had my first job, right after high school, I joined the military. And I stayed there for 5 years until I moved to USA. But my paycheck every 2 weeks, we paid like every fortnight. So the only thing I took out of my paycheck was my tithing. And every time I get my little 80 bucks 2 weeks, I took my tithe and put in one of my pocket, and then the other one I put the rest of my pay on the other pocket. And as soon as I see my mother, I took my pay and gave my mother. That's the only thing I took out of my paycheck for all the years I joined the military was my tithing. Nothing else I took, and the rest I gave it to my mom for the support.
Yes, yes. I mean, you know, I'm in Egypt, you are in Tonga, but our parents, they discipline us with responsibility.
Yes.
Nowadays,
Wow.
the parents, because they don't have responsibility for themselves. How come
Right.
you ask these kids to have responsibility for themselves?
Yeah,
You know,
that's good.
if I don't have this type of responsibility to my family, to my kids,
Right.
can I preach or discipline my kids for responsibility? No. End up like Kuliti said, when you have daughter, when you have daughter, just go for someone to marry you. So it will be off of
Yeah.
That's the mentality in Tonga, right?
Yeah, not to marry for money. My goodness.
But that's the
That's
culture, though.
No, it's not culture because Emeline, what you told me, that's the pure culture. When you get money, you think for your family and you just get what you need and that's it, and the rest to your family. Because your family important. That's discipline. And that's passed to your kids. Because you teach your kids how's the family important. What
Right.
Brenda was teaching their kids, she after them was the stick. Yeah, but keep reaching them. But yeah, you laugh. But that's oh my gosh, how many times but you know, this is the pure culture. What happened now, it's come a disease to the culture to make it culture, but it's not. Not. Back our days, we don't have internet, we don't have Facebook, we don't have video games. No. We create our games by ourselves. And guess what? 8 o'clock maximum, you will be full asleep. And then you wake in the morning, like maybe 4 or 5 a.m. Fresh. But now it's hard to sleep because you chatting, you do this, you call this, you put post in Facebook, and then you want to see what the people comment and what the people
You're just adding more pressure to yourself, eh?
More stress. You know what for? The end of the day, I, with all my respect to the technology, but I want to ask, what is God's gift to me? You know, in the Bible, when we read the Bible, it's very important. The Lord gave 10 to someone, 5 to one, and just 1 to the third one. Yes. And they went, the two of them went to the market. The one was 10, he come with, I think, 100, 1,000, whatever. But what he did, the gift, the God gift, gave him a gift, say maybe 10 gift, he make it 100. Wow. The one 5 gift, he make it 10 because he learned from the experience. Okay, but the one he have only 1 gift, what he did, he go and bury it, and when God come, he just give him the gift, and that's it. Yes. That's what we do. We read the Bible, but we don't look what the secret behind this.
It's the,
That's
yeah.
the discipline God give you gift. Go to the market and do the experience, sell. You will lose, then you win. But the end of the day, you win when you use your God gift. Don't do like this person there. He was
Yeah.
so lazy. He buried his gift and that's it. Because he's scared to lose. He's scared to lose. There is
Mm.
nothing to lose because it's a gift from God. What you will lose? God will take it from you? No. You the one bury it and hide it and sit next to it, do nothing. When the other people making money from God gift.
Wow.
You will look around how to make an easy money from the devil gift, not from God gift.
Yeah.
You know, Dr. Ray, what you just shared, I did a little talk about it. I just want to share that that PowerPoint. I had it like a few months ago. You see it? That's exactly what you talk about, the talent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I did, I create this PowerPoint back in May, I believe, because I was doing I was training some of the ladies about mindset. But exactly what you talk about, I just shared that on the screen. The one with the talent, you know, and this is part of, this is like, the talk I have is about the 2 basic laws of life, you know. So,
Yeah.
and this is my PowerPoint I did, but you just reminded me, I just want to pull that out on the screen so you can take a look at that, you know. So,
Matthew 25 from 14 to 28.
yes, yes. So,
That's exactly. See, that's when the Holy Spirit talked.
yes.
Like
Matthew
and he was
25.
talking before, and I just come and talk about the gift of God. And that's the gift of God. See, 3 times. The one he had 10, he make it 100, he make it 1,000. Why not?
Right, right.
And the only one, see, because God, he knows him, he's so lazy, he only give him one. And even this gift, he go and bury.
That's amazing, Dr. Ray. When you mentioned that, it reminds me because I created this PowerPoint when I was doing the talk with the ladies about the church, and you say the Holy Spirit talk exactly. So, but you know, like I said, I think with also the parent, I believed to be blamed a lot because. You know, listening to you talking about it, I have to take responsibility for some of my irresponsible when it comes to my kids, because I can see that in my son, you know. So, but at the same time, I'm always like, when I see my kids with something, I'm always asking the question, you know, I need to get to the bottom of it right away. I need to find out because, like you said, I do not want to see anything in my house that doesn't belong in there. And I have to find out from my son where that comes from, you know? So, and I think for us parents, we have to take a lot of responsibility, you know? But at the same time, we talk about the culture.
Everyone was asking about you, Kuliti.
Okay, he's here, eh?
Ayo. No,
But that's
because
amazing, you know, we talk about this one and I just have to pull the PowerPoint out so I can show you what I talk about that already. So with these ladies, you know, so, but welcome, Kuliti. So,
Hello.
Fefe Hake.
Cyber Malo.
Okay, so Brenda, I'll let you circulate back to you and then bring him on, so.
no. We bring him on Friday. But what I meant for Matthew, you know, before I done the management through the Bible and the mindset through the Bible, everything in the Bible there.
Yes.
Everything. If you want to talk about mindset, if you talk about business, if you talk about strategies, you will talk about anything in the Bible. But again, what Kuliti was saying, he was looking for easy money. And what I've been saying, what about the gift to God, the God gave you the gift? That's so easy and how to use it. And this will be our Bible study today.
And you know, Dr. Ray, some people said, okay, I don't have the skill. It's so easy. You just go take the class. You know, if you don't have the skill, invest in yourself. You know myself, I know a week that I'm distracted if I don't read a book. Okay. If I don't read a book a week, I knew I'm on Facebook too much. So I always like to put myself in track, and I said, okay, I need to shut off my phone. I need to finish my book, you know. So it's very important, you know. Go ahead, Dr. Ray.
But let me explain to you something. With God gift, if you want to take class, that's to make it like more.
Yes, yes.
But if you didn't take class, you can use it and make money.
Exactly. It's so true.
Ayo.
It's
And
just sharpen the skills, eh?
ayo. That's to make it more and more and more.
Right.
And I will go now with Kuliti for the Bible study.
Okay.
Okay. All right. We'll be back. But I like what you shared today. That's what I'm saying. The Holy Spirit is work for everyone.
There you go. Amen to that. Brenda, you unmute yourself.
Yeah. And next time we'll have Kuliti to continue in the show. Okay.
Okay.
To your auntie.
Brenda.
Kuliti, te hu mai he aho ni pe kai.
Ki Bible study, tomorrow, whenever you guys are free.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Bible study on. Offer to focus on the Bible study.
Will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, if you want to come, you can come tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Ofatu.
Hello.
Father, my Lord, Dr. Ray. Thank you. Brenda, I love Dr. Ray, but you know, that's amazing. And I love I had that PowerPoint I shared earlier. Because I had going to training ko ki finemato ko ni program ko I kalanga to po I go off into. So I always prepare a PowerPoint, and I was talking about that. I make an get that in it. I pay go ahead, Dr. Ray. Og mawinga ke I gift ko ni ke og mawinga I gift ko ni ke ngawe
Oh, yeah.
Look for easy money, but we have gift that God is given,
Go yeah.
I go love ko anenaya to ke na to he weekend in Ukamata ke fanong jay. I wanted to buy the book. Na pe to he. Think of he time kon to pe time kon to pe etau fanga kui. Whakakau ke time kon oku whaia ko haka, tapea ki haka ufloloi, Ko process ko ki haka ufi, it takes a long time, Aya go tele ki haka tele, pe aska pa fufulu, pe ki fai tuku ke mea, I magi for kneel. I mean, think about this. It might take them like 3 hours to get the haka ufi,
Oh, yeah.
Ko process, yeah, so in terms of like, in order for our parents to get the haka ufi, the key process of key follow. Our generation now, in order for you to get something, you just walk in and put in a microwave, let's say 2 minutes, and you get your food. I mean, 3 hours of process versus 2 minutes of a bowl of noodle, and you're done. It's more like, I think the Iberian go or disable I think that's what I'm trying to say. But the mentality, 2 minutes, even having a noodle, waiting for a noodle 2 minutes is still too long. Remember? I mean, we are living in instant America now. Fast food. When we need to eat, instead of going home and prepare the food, a healthier food, we just drive through the McDonald's,
Go yeah.
Second, I got disabled out of Brenda, you know.
So I have a butcher shop, Okay.
Right.
So okay, que trust I meat going for the coroa, right? So when I go and talk to the butcher, and I would tell him, Kata pe ka pau ko sipi ko ke fema ko lota ke nanga trim he. Pe
Right.
ospane I want the piece. I want hanga alu ko ke fare ko la ka pau te so ka langa I sipi. I will get the langa I sipi, but not the pieces. You know.
Right.
So ka time ka mo a bit holau he ko inga o ku ko nutritious or ko nutrition o me akai o ma upe he te prepare right e me akai.
Exactly.
But kai pick a trust a restaurant o we go to restaurants ka o mahino pe restaurants go we eat it. O lava pick te see how your food is being taken care of. You know.
Right.
He pe toko lahi me kau ngā ue te seo maau e nau formation ke hono ave e inu mo o mai e te mea toko ni o ngahi mea pehe. Kau kia e u whare i hange ko te seo koi ki he hange ko Chinese restaurant pe ko ngahi whare. I don't go to those restaurants. He kono i ngā pia o kai ko whainga mea kai a ko appetite ke ai. You know, o for bit no me to ni na to no prep ka kai ke you know. So, you know.
But what I'm trying to see, Brenda, the process that will compare I process ke haka ufi with the walk-in bed to get a fast food. Kukamata get the how the toria pe the pe kukaile get out the ma the toria I mean a generation koidi.
Io.
I
patience. Patience.
Pero me mahalo ku fai fu ai na work get the easy money in the wrong way.
Wrong way, yes.
Because we were already given them let's say we already opened the door for them to do that. Eh? Yeah. I think that's what I tried to conclude what I was trying to explain. Dr. Ray, instead of alo kumi an easy way to get money, nga way go gift ko na mai otua, eh?
Go yeah.
But when gift is already given to us, but if we need to sharpen the skills, we can go take another class. But kakumaho inga daw invest in the self, Brenda. Mandi ko ko me ko na daw tupa kay tongai o pehe foki oksio kita ya if you care about yourself more, eh? But to me, o si ma we daw tolia I offer. Kauta fe ma ke te offer kita ka kita, you know? Eh? I mean, you need to love yourself too. You know?
Yeah.
And when I love myself, I'll take care of myself health. I'll take care of everything that, you know, it's not just love others, but make sure you love yourself, you know. Get down here. You know, I tell you one thing. I grew up, I always, let's say, yes all the time. I always give all the time. I forgot to take sometimes, you know. I forgot. I always give, you know, there's something called give and take, you know, but I like to satisfy people more than myself. Then I started to learn to say no sometimes. When I say no, then I feel good. E ha pe ta ta mai ke ta wo ke e ka pa ngi fo ke pe ka ga wo ai mai o idea a ko ya o web schedule a kia te like fa ga e me a ku pa to ki i wat ka ko ka ba da do to nga fo ke ko ta mai pe ko ya hey o kwa e ma ki lo la e te ke ha ge o si lia ke me ko to ka al ko no I ko ko ta no ki culture eh let me look at my schedule. Let me look at you know, if I'm available, then I can go. But You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kagangahi me ya ko na wako e au ke learn to say no. It's okay to say no. You know?
Yeah. Ko beha oku very important au pito beha get honest.
Yes, exactly.
You know, oku very I do that. Okay ko tota how ke easy be out ke io you know, but there is no reason for que they make excuse either. Because they
Right.
you know what
Right.
I mean? Oku very important que go hinga it's your go personality or put it, you know, you put it your own. You love
Yes.
yourself enough to make sure okay get the hang up, put up her Brenda him, you know, me who you really are. Eh? He go me ang mon au pito ko tau culture ya tau to ko me hange pe tau funky game he tau tupu hake he.
Go yeah,
Ta
good.
to kwa oh mau. Pako satu aya se ko o kuori ko tahi ni whakaori atwa. Ko oko tori ko awa pa turi, ko tu o wanu turi mai kuri o malere o hopo ki tahi korukaru. Pea turi mai kuri he o tori kuawa pau hawa ko maapi. Ko kulere a koe tako o kefi taunga pi ai mu a he mea ko malere pea o manere. Kai u he pi o mata he. Ta hini koe. Kai ke o lava au ke a kohe whi. Ka koe kulau pea koe whainga kau ngā. You know,
Go yeah,
it's
go
a
me
fun
a
life
It's
that
not
we
like
have.
a good like a good like to satisfy your kaunga me again
Ia
now,
kau
you
ngā
know.
mea,
Yeah.
ia pea ko
So
important ka kita
yes.
hoto ki kau ngā mea.
Go
Pau
yeah.
a oe ke o koe ki waf Amerika ko kau tahi, he? Oh my goodness, koe pehe mai pe koe tau alu. E aia ke toko ni mai kau alu, he? Oh, pako oska ko pau ke mau ke osi kau tahi te mau mai koe toko tahi ten whatau mau fo ima. Foi
Go yeah.
mafana. Ia toko tahe ai mau fo ile man.
But
So,
but
yeah. Moi pata. It's a fun
okay, but
time.
that's a fun time. But I'm telling you, Brenda, that's exactly what I grew up, how I grew up. But when I come here, I need to adjust to that, to say no to my friends. It's okay, eh? You know, not all the time you can say okay to go, you know. There are times you have to have other things to take care, eh? And that's what
That's
I
right.
meant, you know. But I think, but we still have a beautiful culture. Me mo ne apiten la me ka Dr. Ray. Gata tayo niya gusto pe dami te wanima. But I'm telling you, Brenda, o favor pa pito etaw programa pe mo me ko ni ko culture, eh?
Io. Koe mea o whakaori ki whai koe tau mātua vai. He koe o nau tō sa ia nau tō re furi he e nau meal preparation. He ku nau o kai ke nau whemana tō mea kai paparangi he. They still one e nau ki haka uwhi pe koe taro ai me nau ki lai pere koe I fo atu. Ora unof pe a koe ngāwe. O whakaukau mai kena ki lunch ko wha ai he. O ware pena ua ia o hua tau o mau lunch he. Koe ki haka ai pe kai te riri ki haka loloi. Ko koe pe koe ki loloi. Koe fu loloi. Ka koe lai pere koe o lunga e rini. O ai lele hi foi ke polo ospa al game fu kapa polo i te apiu. Koe ospe koe e ku ma o koe ku lunch he. Pa ko pea tua ta utu he couch he. O mo he whewhine. Koe ki foi minite ke whai ki nepia. It's such a beautiful setting at our life as a Tongan. Eh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Kagala me ko ni ko daw ki mauinga iyan I love me ka Dr. Ray. And in Behe, yeah, parents create a criminal mindset daw pa now. He time go kaya go get daw discipline them at right time. Eh? But if I tata go get gifu akaw go tupu, kabaya get for tu haba akaw get tupu akaw hangatono. Ale akaw ya tupu hipaya all over. Eh? Kakoy mo
Yeah.
I pito ya I make to parents and I tell you, I know when I fail my kids, I'm gonna go see I go ke outcome ko ni tam si fikawa. He kono nga ko time na kita to kang I ke ko make parenting eh. But at the same time I hold him accountable and I put him to make sure ogune responsible for himself to himself eh ang
Yeah.
lang Dr. Ray og mauinga kita hanga o ako responsibility ke fanaw kaya hanga ko narilang kay ko tao ko to na wi so ti ai nakakita kami na walang ke baheo o ngawe ak kami pa na to ko baheo fulu eh kung to pa baheo fulu pag to na baheo ko ape ke fineki Ketogon came out of eh? Came out me akato. And all the years I've been working with that so tiamo ki wahe fa wiki wa ko me ben out to make a buy of full pay, eh? And that's the only thing that I claim. I make sure I pay my tithing and the rest I give it to my mother, eh? And that's I was trained with responsibility at young age, but at the same time nakakitala no kakitala maya kung mata ke fai me ko kung sio pe pe o fai api pe fai e me ko ya pe sio ke to anga ko e fai mo tamai ako to and I just felt obligated that I wanted to make sure that my mom is not gonna be alocorde pe alofai ha from o pe me was make sure pe why be say need ke anga ke fai I cannot take care of us and that's a beautiful thing of farm now. Pero I'm in that situation right now. They given the money to pay the bills. And that's something very I found out and I'll take a responsibility at a younger age. And I think it's a contribution to a better, let's say, future in their life.
It's a very well-rounded give and get. Ki he ka te hanga toka ngai lele whanau, pia ka te kai nau tolu he whonga totonu. He kono uhinga koe anga whakatonga ia koe ni ko o ku totonu e mea pe koe na e koe ki tau tolu, tau lava ke tau very transparent, tau lava lewa ke a koe i mutukwat ke tau whanau. And then we make it better. O kai mea ngai mea lahi koe ki tau loto ke te whakahoka i kita as a new mom ke whanau, He kono uhinga our mother te dad hange ko si taime prepare tau mea tokoni. Ia whanki I stove, most of the time, tafu me tua, especially katoko rahe tau kau guest, he? Koe ke ngahi like that. Ka koe mea koe ki he race koe whanau, but the expectation o tonu ke koe ki ifu akau, I koe ni support aka ki kau hanga tonu, ke hanga tonu ki ifu akau ni tupu ake. You can never expect e te whanau ke hanga tonu e nau whonga ka kai ke te hanga tonu kita, Pe au tonu au pito pe ia ke te follow pe kita he mea au ku tonu taha. You said earlier, he kai ke te lava whai ha mea o tonu pe te ofa ke taha ta e no ke te ofa kia kita. He koe te give he tō taimi, pa koe taimi aku te hela ia.
Oh, yeah.
Pako hau pehela ia mo te rea a ki tai o strong angia thunderstorm, you
Yeah.
know. Ka o very true. O ko mai pe me a kotoa mo no taimi mo te ki whanau mo anga e te race skin au tolu. Pako pepe o ko tau monu ia pe he ko iai pe mea o tau iloi. O ko totonu pe ko e mea o ko hala. Pe o ko ngāwe ho tau consent siki ai. Eh?
Oh, yeah.
Ko sia kan ke mātu a ko na hohoro hifo. Pa ko sia pe ka tau toru later on ko tau hohoro hifo ngata tau. Ko sia how we cater to our parents. Mo whakaala ala ke o aha mea ke na si mamahi ai he. Pe ka na puke ma flock right there mo, you know, mo telefon ka na ua. Pea mau pe na whanki me a ko topi hona api kai ke pehe ke ai ke na ongoi o kuna uncomfortable. Oh,
Bless you.
excuse me. Mahalo
Bless you.
mahalo koe superstitious ia tau wanga whatonga koe. Ona tānoa ka hataha pea. Pea te mawhatua mahalo koe te wrong you know, excuse me. So, pea oku ko whakawhu vai he tatara noa rini. He kuta ilo pe a surround environment na tatu puai tonga I koro, he?
Oh, yeah.
It's such a beautiful city. Pea koe most of the time oku alo maari e pe kai ke pe he. Koe toki uha pe he taimi uha.
Oh,
Eh?
yeah. Mm.
Kai oa mua na a lotonga nila a pe oho vari pe kua toa fu uha whakamoko moko he. Oa ko e tau rua pe e tau tauria he ni
Turi hopo time, turi hopo,
tui
yeah.
hopo he.
Whalata
Ia.
pia tonga e taimi ko, eh?
Io. Pakalata au pito au pito.
And for me, we're looking forward for a new government, a new Tagalog epoch for all.
E pok fo, we? Io. Aia ku tau wofi ke tau whiri e tau paremia,
Paremia, eh? Aia ko tui ko message ko kona ave ko he tui ke kakai, he de propola, ke whiri wha poto poto. Ko message ta tau pia o ta te korea tu ke kau wharelea koe nei o si whiri koe ki he kakai. Ke nau te whiri wha poto poto pe paremia, eh?
Io.
Pak whema uia ke whiri a paremia o ofa he kakai. Whiri a paremia o ne wha mua e kakai, I he ene taki. Mo wha mua e o tua, eh? Ka mo ma we loto tau taina mo ni mama ki he whai e ngā we. In order for them to move forward with this country, the corruption has to be cleaned up, you know. Te kwa ke tui a wia oku whiama o e whanua ia ke ai wharelea ke nau ke corrupt pe. He koe ngā he koe corrupt ia, it's not go against, o kwa ke go against ia pia moe whotutu ai otua, eh? Oku a ken sia ke whotutu ai otua. Pa whema ia ke te awia ki tonga, koe nau kono mo ni pe nei ke clean up the corruption. And a lot of them over there, o kwa zilo pe ia he pare mia koe ni ukloro tonga, ai mea ko ton ke whai, pa utoton pe ke ne whai mea ko utotono, eh? Aia koe patau tui pe tau toria koe whiri koe nia, ke nau mao ai whiri whapoto ki he pare mea, eh? So we can kind of keeping our finger crossed on that and hopefully we'll see that, you know, so.
Ko tui pe awia e tonu pe. He kono uinga io. He kono uinga he kai ke tau toe afford e tau tore ke tau toe go through I hatoi fihalaki again, you know.
Yes, I believe that too. So that's so true.
Pea koe hela ia kakai he, to koe changes ke come once in every while and it's a good change, you know. not so many times with my rupture.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, Brenda, information age forget of the technology, eh? But
Oh, yeah.
why hinga go sio ki ai go ma when I don't for American live, eh?
Oh,
No, but this is my message
yes.
to anybody who go live out there. Kapag we can have values, can hang a prod out to lift a soul up or somebody, don't go live. Go do something else. Eh? Kapag ko happy go live may give a matala may o kape ka hi mo hi. I mean, that's a waste of energy and that's a waste of a gift na wate o tuaka ko. Eh? Kaya ko gusto ko ako kiay. Heko, wifi ki kalasia o live may nakikita fanong tatole yan auto. Eh? No, what I'm saying because okay, hang on, bring out. Kapag we can have values for you to bring to somebody, go do something else. That's how I look at it. Eh? Hego kawya he taupe and hang on tamate culture. I think I'm going to print that. And you mentioned I don't really listen to any of those, but what I see, title, eh? If the title works for me, I listen. If the title is something that I will learn something from it, I listen. Because like I said, you need to love yourself, and you need to also protect what you bring into your mind. Don't bring in garbage. Hey, when I go computer. Never computer garbage in, garbage out. Eh?
Yeah.
So a lot of people blame the computer. Oh, the computer bring no. Whatever you put into the computer, it's gonna be your outcome. But behavior, whatever you put into your mind is gonna be your outcome. Empty vessels is the most noisiest one. Eh? The empty vessels. Eh?
Yeah.
Empty the vessel. I don't know. For phone, I can make a and for myself, if I don't read a book a week, I knew that I'm off track. Eh? And that's part of how I want to fill my mind every day because have my get grow my mind all the time. But going a bit with share I make a Brenda have mau inga, eh? Have mau inga. Get out and I tell you, don't circle those video around. About a lot of things in there. Because when you share a video that is something in there that is not good for anybody, you contribute to that trash. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's my 2 cents, Brenda. I give it back to you.
Oku tatau pe koe moau. Koe tō taha uia ka whanonga ha mea kai ke relevant tia ke whanongo. Either I shut it down pe oku just turn off au pito pe au ia. Te tu au arowhai ha ku ngā ue au ke au mahu inga. Kai ko ha breaking news ke tau whanonga pa kai mea koko, he? Koe live mai koe more ko nau taimi. Ua ki ia, ua ki ai. Koe mea ko una o mai, o koe ko ha mea ai au pleasant ke whanongo.
Well, mea ke langa hake hata hai.
Ia. Pea koe tolu, koe ka pārewa una o mai e nau torea, they just push it through ki he media ko hingai nau. Poto he lomi pe mo ai. Mea ke whanongo ke kakai. I think you just shut off the media ki he whitu kotoa. You just, tarano pe koe mo telefoni mo toko taha ko whai ki ai o concern. O kai ki ha au ngai ke whanongo e kakai, he? E mea rea ia e toko taha o pehe. Koe kau lai mi konu. O kunau taa ke hake nau tolu he kui hono whitu. Te kai ke te sio kita pe whanongo na e whai he kui hono ua kita. Yeah. Aku
so
toi
true.
whakaoli. Toi
Oh,
whakaoli
yeah.
te whanau. Pea pē he ki whinmoto e ta. Pea koe hai anga ene si he hela i han taipi hono. Ko mie ngahi mea paraku ko ta pē whika aku ngok whamiri. Koe nerea koe whinmoto apa aspea kata. Pea pē mai rewa e. Koe mea nu whakaoli. O lau mai ki he, lau mai ki he, lau mai ki he. O kai ke ila ka kai ko o mai ko pe au ia. Mahalo ton ke e mini e ko mea ko to o te ke to e rea mai koe ke to e tala mai he kai ke mau fie no. Ta ko mea ko katai. Oska ia ia kai ke te to e sio. Ko o lesson, it lesson now maha ko tau fa
Yes.
o atu ki tua.
So
You know.
tui peki ai.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Kai ke, kata po kala mai ke.
Yeah.
Beko Emeline Brenda, take a moko host at the Seattle, Washington. Brenda, if you have something else to share, go ahead and before ke ose the programa ka kuya be etau kita ta no he pepini. Looking forward ka pongpong I ka tau health talk here pa mo Dr. Ray. And to go to go pa ose the programa.
Io, malo apito koe mea pe ko whima koe ke remind everybody whanongo mai mi ope oku iai e tau guest of honor for next for tomorrow
Yes.
na tau o mai whokia kuliti tonga moa ki he tau programa ko ia I he uko osi pea and so we're gonna be with him again tomorrow night. If you have a bongbong, if you have to sit, and we will be talking with him again. Kono uhinga pe ko na tolahi au pita mo toni mo whanong ke por kalama tam si ko ni pea o ko tu pe te mo to e fie whanong mai pe ko inga o ia uhinga ia o ko si fie share ai ene mo ui I he taimini he ko ia na I pirisone I he foi mahina hiba. And he said he worked his time. He feel like o ne osi pei ene mea kotoa to society. Pea koe taimini o ne loto pe ke ne hoko ko hatoko taha. Ke ne taha whakatātare rei kia ki mo tōru ko mo pehe o kusai drugs in Tonga. Kapau ke whiwhanong kia he is coming in tomorrow night. Pea ko hiva, taimi tatau pe Seattle time. Pea mo taimi atonga mo aho e taha hoa e wha ahe. Maybe o mo osmea pe a taimi pe ko ni e reite o ko ni TWN. Ko ia Emeline malo au pito.
Oh, yeah.
Malo mo mea mai mo mea.
Oh, moment. Yeah.